Welcome to Caliente Topics. This is our daily tax webcast. My name is Veronica Russell from MMTAXMAN.com, and I have Patrick Russell, EA, as well from MMTAXMAN.com. Patrick, good morning, and what's the topic for today?
Good day to you, Veronica. Thank you so much. Gang, today we're going to be talking about S-Corp owners, health insurance being paid by the S Corporation. Now, this is a very popular provision, one that we've exercised with most of our S-Corp owners over the last 10 years when the S-Corp was the company entity du jour. Because S-Corps themselves have fallen out of favor, we don't give this speech as often as we once did, but it's always a good narrative to go over because it is something that's still very popular out there in the business world that you might hear from some of your colleagues. So, as an S-corporate owner, you do have the ability to have your insurance premiums paid by the company using company bank funds.
Yeah.
But there's now a special mechanism by which the owner has to first report those payments on his paycheck and then also report those payments on his 1040 as wages. But then the special provision allowed for S-corporate owners that are doing this is that they're able to now take that self-employed health insurance deduction, which you will find do-it-yourselfers get a little wonky on you. Schedule 1, line 16, right? Okay. Now, Veronica, remind me again, when we run payroll for an S-corp owner and the company needs to report a premium payment of $600, we add those payments, the $600 to the wages, but do we take away any payroll taxes?
Nope, you don't pay any payroll taxes on those $600 or whatever amount you guys pay for insurance.
Absolutely. Guys, keep in mind that we are talking about a particular provision in the IRS code that you can find spelled out in the publication 15B as in Bravo. The reason being is because the shareholder that owns 2% or more of the S-corporate stock, that's a completely different animal. Right? The IRS code and the IRS rules treats individuals that own 2% or more of an S-corporate stock as both an owner as well as an officer. It's this two-hat ownership matrix that really brings about this complexity to how do I get paid back by the company when it's just taking care of my health insurance. It really got complicated after 2013. That's when Obamacare really took into the provisions were enacted, and that really provided this very complicated matrix that 2% owners of S corporations now had to follow in order for them to get the full benefits. So here's what's happening, gang. Nothing on the banking side has really changed, right? It's the company that's making the payments on the insurance policy. It's simply the reporting and the mechanism by which an S-corp owner has to take that self-employed health insurance deduction as a way of backing out those payments out of that line one wages that we were talking about had to happen throughout the year on the payroll. They get backed out, and what's left over, what's left behind, what's remaining is the actual wages, right, that the S-corp owner had actually earned for the year, right? And so it's a very complicated way of getting a very standard reimbursement from the company. And a lot of it was because Obamacare, the biggest mission of Obamacare, especially with smaller companies, which statistically make up more than 80% of the businesses actually operating in the United States. So getting a framework to make sure that small business didn't discriminate against offering health insurance, not just to themselves, but then also to maybe the 2 to 3 or 4 employees that they may have on payroll. Yeah. A lot of that was happening prior to Obamacare because there was no law that stated small owners could not discriminate when it came to healthcare. They couldn't just offer it to themselves. What had happened essentially is that the bar had dropped down to one employee. If you only have one employee, then the provisions of Obamacare and all these mechanisms that Patrick and Veronica are explaining, you don't need to jump through those hoops. Oh, you have 2 employees, including yourself, so you're the first employee, and now anybody after that is that Rubicon mark employee, meaning now you have a reporting requirement. You get what I'm saying? It lowered the bar to, if you had any employees, you now needed to offer them an insurance policy as part of a small business health coverage, which most marketplaces would now, on the state side, on the state level, we're offering.
Yeah.
In California specifically, if you remember, those small Obamacare style businesses insurance plans were called the SHOP plans, right?
I do have a question. One of our followers on Instagram is asking if they have to obtain the insurance through a personal account or through a company.
Very good. So there are circumstances that we want to lay out. A textbook circumstance would be this, is that you are not the only employee, that you have another individual employee, and they are not opting out of health insurance. They don't have health insurance from a spouse. They don't have Medi-Cal or a Medicaid of some kind, right? So if they're not opting out, then you do need to go through a marketplace and get a SHOP small business plan through the Obamacare state funded marketplace
Cover
for
California,
insurance. Exactly. In California, it would be Covered California is the marketplace name. Thank you so much on that. Now, if we're talking about, I have about 3 or 4 employees, but each one of those employees are willing to sign off on a waiver opting out of group health insurance, can I then avoid going to Covered California, getting a SHOP plan, and simply getting what I would normally get, which would be private insurance company insurance such as Blue Shield or Anthem Blue Cross, simply even in my name, coverage in my name, policy in my name, but simply having the bill payments coming from the company as long as I follow the payroll inclusion and the W-2 reporting, and then taking and backing out those payments that are initially reported on my wages out on my 1040 Schedule 1. Am I allowed to do that? And the answer is yes. As long as you're not discriminating, and that would include you getting opt-out clauses signed by each one of your employees. As long as those are updated on an annual basis, you're good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're gonna come back with another follow-up on the S Corp health insurance. So if you do have more questions, just let us know. Put it on the comments, and we're gonna be reading questions from now on from clients, future clients, just people in general, just in case.
Absolutely. And so we're going to come back around and now extend the conversations to, well, Pat, we're not an S Corp anymore. That was my daddy's company. I'm an LLC now. What's the standard process for health insurance being paid by an LLC to a member? And that'll be next, guys. We'll talk. Quickest way to get an answer is by using our comment box below. Please don't just subscribe to our channel, even though we will be doing this tax workshop pro bono on a daily basis. But guys, lend your voices to the show and make it a whole lot more interesting. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, guys. Have a great day.